My name is Dan Webb. I'm with Smith, Kimbrell & Russell, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the Providence Group. I want to introduce a person who I think will be familiar to many of you, Warren Jolly. Warren is the president of the Providence Group and has been responsible for a number of successful developments here in Dunwoody, including the townhomes right across the street we've heard.
We got another site for you.
And with that, I conclude my presentation. The property I'm here to talk about is just north of Georgetown Shopping Center. For purposes of orientation, Chamblee Dunwoody Road is here. This is Old Spring House Lane. Georgetown Shopping Center is here. There's a Waffle House here. And I believe that's a car wash as well. So the site is roughly 3.5 acres. It is 90% zoned C1. This little triangle is zoned O and I. And for a number of years, it held a two-story medical office buildings that were recently taken down.
One.
Because I'm John Lundeen, the owner of the property is Jay Holding, I'm the president, and basically the market didn't support office use anymore in this location, and ultimately every tenant moved out.
The proposal is for 40 townhomes at a density of roughly 12 units an acre. Right now, there are 2 driveway access points. This driveway will be closed to vehicular traffic and become a pedestrian access only. The main access will be here off Old Spring House. It needs to be 3-story, some combination of brick, stone, and masonry. As you can tell, there's significant landscaping on the property, and importantly, we've got a 12-foot multi-use trail along the Old Springhouse Lane frontage. We've got a pocket park here. We've got internal sidewalks as well as this pedestrian connection to Georgetown Shopping Center. We have filed an application to rezone the site from C1 and O and I to RM100, and we also have a variance application that will, number one, increase the lot coverage of the site, and number 2, allow some encroachment here into the rear setback where it reflects Georgetown Shopping Center. So I think with that I'll stop unless, Warren, you want to add anything. The message here is effectively we're downzoning the site. It's in C1 now. We're trying to put something that I think is probably a little bit more in keeping with what people want to see in this area, and we brought the best developer in town to do it.
Thank you. I'm Warren Jolly with the Providence Group. One thing I want to mention is the proposing to be gated. So if you look, the entrance of Old Spring House Lane has kind of like a turnaround. There's a gate right there. But also the access from the commercial is still going to stay here for the commercial. So this is going to see this kind of turn into the site. And then there'll be pedestrian access in the back of the neighborhood to the commercial. I just felt like I had my son's birthday today, so we were coming back from dinner, and you know, the shopping center, it was packed for cars, and so a lot of restaurants and a lot of people out there at night. So I think open to pedestrian access with this pathway that's going to be there is going to be huge. One thing about the project, we're pretty much a lifestyle provider. These are all projects that we built before. They're in different parts of Atlanta. They pretty much these ones that have the driveway in the rear are these 2 buildings right here that are rear fed. And then these are front-entry are these 3-4 buildings right here. You just can't get a road behind those to serve those. We met with the staff and worked out the things for driveway lengths for cars. And actually these are pushed back further because of the sidewalk. You got enough room for a car after the sidewalk's there. And so that was one of the questions for the buffer, is that the variance on the rear, because we're pushing these things back, and so by pushing them back we need a variance, plus the way the tight side is right through here. But part of the application, the staff wanted renderings and elevations, and what we would do is pretty much design this project for this project because of the way the grades work. We have stuff that's similar, but we'll kind of retool it. But we're going to put conditions definitely on the outside, exterior requirements. They asked for some stuff on the inside. Never done that before. But we've done several projects in Dunwoody. There are townhouses. We did the one across the street. Actually, interior of that project, there's some that look just like this. The ones that face the road are very similar to a project we did on Lenox Road called Alexandria. We took those and really adapted them for there. We also did Kingston Gate right there at Chamblee, Dunwoody, and 285, and Ivy Gate right there behind Georgetown Church. But anything, any other questions about the product or?
What's the price point?
Yeah.
Price point, you got to remember, I think we're in a little different area than where the other site was, because I used to own that site. Well, my banker back here sold it. But so we bought that actually for the redevelop for condos, and then the market went down obviously, and then we maintained it as office for several years. But obviously this side I think is a little bit different. You got a shopping center behind here. You got night cars, trucks come in at night and that kind of stuff. So screening is very important. But we're going to be somewhere starting, I say low 4s, maybe a few things in the high 3s and go up. We were the 5th largest builder in Atlanta last year. Actually 4th. Year before we'll be probably 5th this year. We've got a 5,000 square foot design center, and most people put in about $25,000 to $40,000 in upgrade. So that's before what the price I sell, then you add the upgrade, the custom options. But we're a builder. We work on percentages. So our deal is we want to drive the price as high as we can get it. And it works better for all of us. But also it's got to be successful, and you got to appraise it today. You got comps that are out there now, and whatever sold recently, say even across here, maybe a comp. If we can't appraise it and they can't get a loan, we can't sell it.
Do you know what those are selling for resale?
I haven't looked at it. We'll look at it when we finish up our demographics and what we're into. But we know we're very secure of the location of the project where it's at. Yes?
There's been talk or desire for some kind of connector road that connects Chamblee, Dunwoody, and Ashford, Dunwoody. I don't know that that's ever going to get done, but if one day in the future it does get done, would that impact this at all?
I don't think so. I don't know if it's inside the perimeter or outside. Where's the conversation? Outside.
No.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't affect this.
You had a question over?
The pedestrian pathway over to the shopping center, are that gated also?
Yeah, there'll be a little key gate, there, and they can walk through. And there'll be one also right here, key gate.
I have a few questions. I live in Georgetown, but I didn't learn about this project until the time lapse. So that's part of the reason that I had a lot of questions. But I'm not going to ask any of them. That area right now, I think the whole Georgetown area sort of suffers from lack of development in the past. Traffic here and there. Has y'all talked at all with the Georgetown area in terms of what is happening along the corner of the it actually looks similar and that they have some big things back there as well. Right.
And I just want to cut the traffic that we can't control going through our neighborhood. That's what we basically do. We don't know families and kids. You're basically going to cut through
we all know the beautiful car wash there. Waffle House, how are you going to buffer that? And I understand there's a high wall at the back of the Waffle House.
This area right in here?
Yes.
We'll be putting plans, you see these trees are planted here, just further. They're about 30 feet tall. So we're going to plant some trees along here. And then right here, the same thing, that's why we be putting close to the house. Also, because the wall there, where the tower wall is.
Also, further down Old Spring House, there was a food bar, pretty fancy little restaurant, multi-use club in front of the other 38 townhomes. Is there any plan to connect them other than that several hundred feet?
Our responsibility is for the animal that's being done. So
that's another floor of the road.
developer to help donate right away and start building it, so it's not their business and our business. So we're paying the cost to build a piece of road.
Are you forced to put it on this side of the street? And real quickly, these are all front views. Can you tell us anything about the back side of these?
I need the pictures, we end up bringing the back order tables up to the first level. We'll have siding, 2 levels above, and 2 levels. But they, I don't think we have anything in the back. But you know, I can show you, they look good from the back, they're 3 levels, but there'll be a mixture, but brick will be on the first bottom level and then 2 levels of siding. But they have some, they jog, they do staggered, and they do have mixture, the roofs mixing them together, so you get a different.
Thank you.
For the Georgetown Shopping Road corridor.
Well, the master plan that Dunwoody put together 2 or 3 years ago.
The master plan provided for this to be a mixed-use area. It actually allowed for higher density than this.
Right. So this area was designated for multifamily, senior living, with,
Which we abandoned based on the city council decision. And so we basically, this density is considerably less for this site.
does anybody in the room know what the density was going to be? What was suggested in the master plan? Give us a minute.
Yeah, give me.
Okay, you're looking it up.
This is city council's decision.
My recollection was it was like 12 or 15 or 18.
And that's where we are. We're at 11.97 units.
Yeah, so I just wanted to compare what the master plan called for and what this is.
Can I ask one more question?
It doesn't in terms of building heights and use. It doesn't reference.
There was something in there about density. On every piece of every one of these, there was density requirements.
Susan, my last question.
Somewhere else in the document.
As this area was sort of characterized as the senior living, Minerva did put the elevator shafts inside of their building option, the elevator shaft slash closet option. Is that something you all are willing to talk about?
Yeah, we wanted to look at it. We've done it in several locations, and it's, we did it across the street. They had options. Project Lennox, the project Alderwood had options. We got a project in Norcross right now, historic downtown. They have options for it. it's money, most people want to know if they can do it, but, you know.
Then they end up not.
But if we if it's an option, then it becomes
Well,
more.
the issue is, the issue is with it though, is, you know, we don't want having, you know, some plans, you can't have them all. Because if you take a townhome and do it here, first of all, you take the elevator shaft, which is about 4 by 5, and you put it right in there all the way up. It's really hard to do a physical layout, because that's what it is, it's a clean street. Big stairs like that. You know, if you look at floor plans and how, you know, a lot of times we go now, you get over to the little 8 out of the house, and that's it. Here, and we would start this building right here. It's a spec, and you know we don't pre-sell. We get them built, and they see the value. But if our agents, if everybody's coming in, when we get feedback, when we actually do customer surveys before and market information before we even get started, if 80% of the demographics and the feedback we come back from agents all say one elevator, the first thing we're going to do is put elevators.
And to be clear, I'm very happy to see some development moving in this space to begin with, because I'm happy for there to be something other than the empty pad that is
So,
current.
and with that, what is the timeline and what is the break?
We are on a January planning commission cycle. We wind up in front of the city council twice in February. I believe the last hearing date is
So you
February
guys are committee
23rd.
council Thursday too then?
Correct.
So you guys will be there with your buddies.
He's on our buddies.
So you guys are kind of for the same thing. You're going from C1 and O&I to RM100 as well?
Yeah.
The same zoning change?
Correct. He's O&I. He's going to RM100. We're basically C1 going to RM100.
RM100, okay.
Correct.
Yeah, you had that one little point you said was O&I, but mostly C1. Okay. And what variances are you guys asking for?
We asked to reduce the rear setback here where the property abuts Georgetown Shopping Center, and we asked to increase lot coverage, which I think he also asked for.
Okay. So, and that's it? The rear setback and lot coverage?
Correct.
Okay. And that is January for ZBA?
You know, it's funny. What I'd like to do is, I've already filed it because the staff told me to do it. What I'd intended to do was file it in January, so we went to ZBA 2 weeks after we finished with the city council, but they wanted it filed ahead of time. So we were actually scheduled to go to the ZBA before we get to the city council. How that gets handled, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It should get heard after legally.
Okay. Okay, so same, you guys will be at the same meetings with the other group. Okay, great. Any more questions? Yes, Bill?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that in Dunwoody, when it comes to townhomes, the one that we use as an example of what we like are the ones that Warren built across the street.
Yes. Amen, it's true.
And though it's been a few years since we worked with you, I know that you're a guy that we can trust, and you'll do what you say, unlike anybody else who might be on the agenda.
All right, there was one other quick question. Yeah, Chris, quick.
You mentioned the ballpark figure of maybe 424, 43 units, 40,000 upgrades are typical. Do you have any recent projects where you're selling townhomes abutting a Kroger near a highway at that price point outside the perimeter?
Well, you know, trying to think, you know, we have a lot of projects going on. Trying to think exactly, budding a Kroger, exact circumstance. And we've done a lot of projects like the Alderwood. I mean, it's right there on the intersection. You know, next to Weber School. We got the one further up called Highlands, backs up to a bunch of retail, and we're up in the high threes there, finishing up. This is a lot better location, a lot different demographics. We actually did a project on Lenox Road called La Vista. It's right there, well, La Vista, and right across from the old International Pancake House. And we were right there on the road, butting apartments.
Behind a gas station.
Behind a gas station on commercial, and we sold the floors there. Now that's a little different location than this, you know. But demographically, you know, that's why Atlanta's like 22 different cities, so we'll develop the product for the demographics of this buyer. But what I'm getting at, I wouldn't worry about the price point, what we sell for, because if we can't sell it, it doesn't matter, we're gonna be out of business anyway, and it's gonna be worse, it's gonna be a broke down project. So the best thing we ought to do is go ahead and get some momentum, sell it and build values, and that's what you need. You need to come in there and don't come here and try to pre-sell all these things, which 90% of the builders have to do. We'll come in here and build it and build value, let them see the outside, let them see the model, and then you start selling it and you build value up. Yes?
How is this different from the one across the street?
Well, one thing, problem with townhomes, you gotta develop the townhome to the topography. So if you look, that's above hill, and it's sloping down. And so if you look, those units are 2-story units, and then across from it are 3-story units, and they're stuck kind of in the grade how it goes up. Like the site that you guys are talking about, the other site.
How many bedrooms, how many square feet, what's the?
Well, these go from, they all have 3 levels, so they got downstairs, so they're basically 3 bedrooms with that downstairs or office. They go up, and they're 2 bedrooms up or 3 bedrooms, so you could be most 4 bedrooms. Most of the time, people make the downstairs an office.
And these are?
Those are the same bedroom count. Now, those are a little bigger square footage. Those are 2-story units. They're spread out a little bigger footprint. Those are 33 feet wide. These are 25 feet wide. But you couldn't, you couldn't do these on that road right there, and you can't do those here because of where the project work. Those are alley fed with the fronts oriented out, and then you've got the grove because if you look, they're elevated with those porches with about a 6-foot stem wall, and then you got the nice stairs going up and the side porches. But
these are 25, those are 30.
33. But inside that project, now you got to remember too, we do a lot of projects. Like if you go look at Alderwood, it faces the main road. We've done several projects where we did. Bob may remember Providence at the corner of North Tree Hills and Claremont, where we have units were only 16 foot wide and they were facing out, and they look great because this is how they stagger and how they look. So. But we don't have anything like this project. You can't really have. You just get this limited streetscape right here, and it's better to do a good job on the sides of these and limit your exposure to the street. Where I agree, kind of what you guys are saying on Dunwoody Parkway, you want something good